Hey, what a day. We got to see our friend have a wedding. And right as I was popping out of the wedding, the results came in. Sovereignty wins the Derby. And of course, if you're on today's stream, I said if I can only take one horse, I'm taking Sovereignty. And it was simple to understand why. It was a numbers thing, but it was an even bigger narrative thing. Sovereignty was born February 22nd, 2022. And if you remember what happened that day, that was the day Joe Biden addressed the U.S. at 2:22 p.m. Eastern Time about what was going on with Russia-Ukraine because Russia's military had entered Ukraine's border, making Ukraine not sovereign. There's now an enemy presence in the land, commanding with the military. So sovereignty was in jeopardy. And again, we're near the end of this war with Russia, Ukraine. It's all by the numbers. Zelensky just turned 47. Trump number 47's in office. Of course, in Gematria, Ukraine equates to 47, as does Secretariat. And again, this is the other piece. Secretariat. Did you know that every horse in today's race was related to Secretariat? Because it was. Secretariat was the Triple Crown winner 47 years before the virtual Derby of 2020, if you remember when we covered that. If not, we'll go back and I'll remind you. But Secretariat's this huge 47 horse, like Ukraine equals 47. Did you see the winning numbers for the top three today? 18, 8, 21. What's that add up to? 47? These things aren't an accident. The two horses that got canceled from the race, Grande and Rodriguez, they were in posts 10 and 4. What day did Secretariat die in history? Secretariat died 10-4, October 4th, at age 19. Like 19 horses in the race. And then what's crazy is from Secretariat's birthday to its death was 188 days later. The horse that just won the race, Sovereignty, it last won at Churchill Downs 188 days ago. So again, these were all the things we looked at, and this is how we arrived at Sovereignty being the horse. Not to mention the day it was born, February 22nd, 2022, was the 53rd day of the year. Today's Derby was on May 3rd, 5-3, on a date with 53 numerology. You get that by adding 5 plus 3 plus 20 plus 25. And if you remember Secretariat at the virtual Derby thing in 2020, they had to move the regular Derby because of the Cooties 19. I just want to remind you of this. Again, for all the people out there, all the detractors, Secretariat won the virtual Derby 47 years after winning the real race. And it was May 2nd, 2020, they did this. 5 plus 2 plus 20 plus 20 is 47. Secretariat 47. Again, you can see, I'm pretty sure I put it all here. You can see the Gematria values. Again, if you're new here, Gematria is the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. There's 4 base ciphers. The alphabetic order, A is 1 up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order with numerology. The reverse alphabetic order. The reverse alphabetic order with numerology. Take a good look at the 4 base ciphers because you can see that in only one is there a 47 value. Only in one. And it is next to Secretariat. And now all these years later, when every horse is related to Secretariat, the 3 winning numbers, win, place, show, add up to 47. And again, just how rigged the game is. Like I say, guys, news and sports, it's all rigged together. Been proving my point in spades for over a decade. Can't believe there's any detractors. This isn't Cap. Yours truly is the greatest caller of all time of horse racing, and I've only been doing it since 2014. You know, it also goes for the NFL futures, NBA futures, MLB futures. We put everybody else to shame. And again, think about what we just accomplished here in recent weeks. Fresh off nailing March Madness, Florida before the term began. Fresh off nailing 6 of the last 7 Masters, and now just called. This is the 5th Derby we called, and not to mention we had both Triple Crown winners in the years they happened before it happened. And again, look at Triple Crown, you guys, because the last time it happened was the 144th Derby. 2 years from now is going to be the 153rd. What do you think is going to happen? But yeah, again, you guys, learn the code, man. I don't know why you guys are doubting it. President equals 133 and 47, just like White House equals 133 and 47, just like government. Todd Golden got his 133rd win on 4-7 when Trump spends a lot of time in Florida, and he called it the Golden Age. And again, Florida's 65. They won it with 65 points, and Houston finished the tournament plus 65. Prior to that, they were plus 67 after they beat Duke in the comeback when Duke got stuck on 67 points. Again, the game's rigged. Rory McIlroy gets the career Grand Slam at the 89th Masters at age 35, Grand Slam 89 and 35, etc., etc. But yeah, here, let's just put all this together. Again, Secretariat, you can see out of the base ciphers. Alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology applied. Only Secretariat equals 47. This post is from years ago, right? We've been talking about this for years. I brought it up numerous times. And now it's about Ukraine. Now what would you call it? The ancestor. Again, all 19 horses in the race day were ancestors of Secretariat. But again, this one who wins today, born the day that Russia's military went into Ukraine. And remember, that was shortly after Zelensky ended his role as an actor in the show. What was it called? Man of the People? Servant of the People? Look into it. Zelensky was the main character in the show about how a normal Ukrainian person becomes the president of the country. He was in that show, and then he became the president, and now he's 47 years old, and he's arguing with the chump, the orange goon, Trump, 47. And by the way, just look at the gematria of sovereignty, too. Do you see the 159, 138, and 60? Do you see all three of those numbers? 159, 138, 60? Look at Donald Trump. 159, 138, 60. And let's not forget, he supposedly won the 60th election. We told you 4 years in advance that was going to happen, why he'd come back as the new Grover Cleveland. Don't forget how his ex-wife died exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit nation year. But yeah, this is how it is done. So just to the kind of notes you would have got a nice long live stream today. We really thought about it. We broke it down. I said multiple times at the end of the stream, based on all this information, if I can only take one, it's sovereignty. It's got the numbers and the narrative. Ukraine's the top thing in the world. You know, they're nearing the deal where Russia's going to gain sovereignty over Crimea. But yeah, again, Secretariat. Here, let me see. Let me just pull up all the stuff about Secretariat. So I just wrote it down here in words, but just so you can see it with your own eyes. March 30th, 1970 was the birthday of Secretariat. October 4th, 1989 was the death. So from March 30th to October 4th, like how they pulled horses 10 and 4 for the ritual, and that's all it is, it's ritual. And again, they had to tell you bruised foot for both horses, the injury was a bruised foot, right? 53. Just like how the winning horse is born on the 53rd day of the year. This is all BS. It's just, the whole thing is BS. And like I tell you guys, the games are rigged. You guys got to start saying, well, how can they rig it? Easily. I mean, you got men on horses. You just got to make sure the winning horse comes in. You're supposed to finish in second place. You got to make sure you're in second place. Again, you got pro riders out there on horses in a rigged field. How do you make sure the Masters is rigged? You just make sure the guy who's meant to win it comes in first. Simple. Talking about the best golfers in the world. How do you when you guys ask how do they rig the games, I'm like, I almost feel like that is a qualifier that it's time to go back to kindergarten, because it really is. It's like a kindergarten level question. I could understand if a 5-year-old was asking me, how do you rig the game? Okay, you're 5 years old. Let me explain it to you. But when I got grown men going, how do you rig the game? I'm thinking, do you have an imagination? Do you have any common sense? Do you realize how much money these people are paid? It's like watching a theater performance and then going, how do they act? Isn't it obvious? They rehearse, they practice, they go through their lines, they stand on their right spot on the stage, everything they were told to do. I mean, what's the difference? Sports are athletic theater. The announcers are constantly telling you they couldn't have scripted it any better. All right, but coming back. Secretariat, March 30th, 1989 was its last year on this earth, to October 4th, 1989, right? 188 days. And understand, that's not an arbitrary number, just like we talked about. I mean, I was talking about the other night with the lady who burnt up on the Illuminati's birthday, May 1st. She burnt up 188 days after Katy Perry's birthday, and Katy Perry did her song, I Kissed a Girl. You guys missed that the other day? The 90s singer burned up on the Illuminati's birthday 188 days after Katy Perry's birthday, because we just talked about this 2 days ago. It's the privilege of watching the information I put out to learn about what's going on in the world. Last year, Mystic Dan had the Illuminati numbers too. 127, also Bavarian Illuminati. But here, Equibase is a great website for horse information. I'm going to pull up this site. Oh, it's running slow right now because I guess everybody and their mom's on there after the Derby. Horses. Let's pull up Sovereignty. And here we go. If you go to click on the horse Sovereignty and then you go to results, you can see that its last race at Churchill Downs was October 27th, 2024, okay? And in this race, you can see how the results were. Wow, this website is crawling right now. Huh. Well, normally it would pull up the results, but I think it's because the website's overloaded. Anyway, October 27th, 2024 to today is 188 days. So this is how we arrived at the winner. Recognizing the meaning of sovereignty. Recognizing the horse was born on the day that Russia went into Ukraine, threatening its sovereignty. Understanding the significance of Ukraine in 47 and Secretariat, and then looking back at Secretariat's death and going, wow, this makes a lot of sense. 19 horses, 10 and 4 pulled. And again, Secretariat won the Triple Crown in 73. 73 is the 21st prime number. That's part of the reason they had to bring the 21 horse in. No doubt about it. And about it being 52 years ago that Secretariat won the Triple Crown now. Remember, both 47 and 52 are time numbers. The word time itself equals 47. There's 52 weeks in the calendar year. Louisville is the 502 area code. A lot of times, if you look at the races that go on at Churchill Downs, the horses that are often favorites have 5-2 odds, and they win a lot. They win at a high percentage, the 5-2 horses. So yeah, again, I thought, again, Sovereignty was the top pick. I really thought Journalism and what is it, Baeza? I thought they both had a great chance to be up there. And look at here's the thing about Journalism and Baeza. Look at this. Look at what happened in the last race they were in. And keep in mind, this comes right after Trump cuts funding for NPR and PBS, right? If you missed my work on that, it's all Jesuitism. Let me see if I can get the results to pull up here, because, yeah, that's right. This website's crawling right now. So their last race was April 5th, 28 days before today. Look at Baeza, the last horse in, right? 35. Today can be written 35. They said it was an off track. That's the terminology for a muddy track. Off track's also 35. Today's date numerology. Again, the multiple pass. One is just adding the date digit for digit. 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 from May 3rd, 2025 is 17. So Baeza has that number. And then in reverse, 28. 28 days ago was its last race, and it came in second place right behind Journalism. So I thought these horses might very well finish next to each other again. Yeah, again, you can come back here and check this stuff later. I'm not lying to you. It's just... Or actually, you know what? I have the screenshots here in my actual post. It's just this website's running so slow right now because there's probably a gazillion people on here after the Derby. All right, so here's the race from April 5th. Journalism got first. Baeza got second. Westwood, who wasn't in today's race, got third. And then Baffert's Citizen Bowl got fourth. And it was interesting about Baffert. You had to think about Baffert because... What that horse is named after is a Citizen Bullhead watch, which is 151. Like this was the 151st Kentucky Derby. And that was Baffert's 35th horse in the Derby. And he had Rodriguez, but it got pulled. That would have been his 36th in the Derby. This is the 151st, which is the 36 prime. Perhaps that horse getting pulled was a sign that it's not his year. But again, it was Sovereignty with the top narrative. And shout out to everybody who got a nice win on Sovereignty at 9-1. Definitely not our best hit. We've hit longer shots, but 9-1's not a bad payout. 9-1's a nice payday. And oh, hold on. I got the here. This is the one that I couldn't get to load earlier. This is the race right here at Churchill Downs from October 27th. Sovereignty beat Tistastic, beat Sandman, and Sandman ended up being the lone 123 horse in the race. Today's the 123rd day of the year. Tistastic had a similar narrative to Mystic Dan, who won last year. But again, it's tricky. Like I said, Sovereignty had the ultimate narrative because of how it lined up with the war. And something else that did jump out to me about Sovereignty was this race. Look at what day it last raced before this race, 188 days before today's race. See what the day it last raced before that was? September 27th. And again, these dates are important to the people who run the show. Oh, Churchill Downs is run by the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. September 27th is the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by Rome. And what have I been telling you the whole time about the war in Ukraine? It's a big 201 spectacle, right? Biden and Putin met 201 days into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. The Jesuit order equals 201. The Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. He changed the name from Bavarian Illuminati to Order of Illuminati, which is 201. Run for the Roses is 201. When Medina Spirit won, it was a massive 201 ritual. And don't forget, they killed Medina Spirit the day before Biden and Putin met. So Medina Spirit died 200 days after the first Jesuit Ignatian year began, or you could say the 201st day of the year. And then Biden and Putin met the next day, which was Pearl Harbor Day, 201 days after the first Jesuit Ignatian year ever began. And then the war began in the Donbass region shortly after. And again, just like how Russia's troops went into the Donbass region. Oh, shit. Man, that's crazy. I'm just realizing that right now. The other greater connection to Donbass region. If you're not seeing it, I'll show you what I'm seeing right now that I overlooked. It also fits in with this. So again, the horse that won today on the 123rd day of the year, May 3rd, in the Run for the Roses of the 201 event, again, it was born the day that happened, that Russia went into Ukraine. The sovereignty was threatened. But you see the 60? Look at Sovereignty. And the same cipher, 60. And again, Donald Trump's here to save the day after the 60th election, after he sacrificed his ex-wife exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. And again, if you're saying, well, how could there be 60 weeks? It's because it went longer than a typical year. It went from May 20th, 2021 to July 31st, 2022. The last day of it was the day Bill Russell died. Then, of course, Bill Walton would die the day the Celtics clinched their final spot last year, 666 days later. Remember, Bill Walton dead at 71, like Celtics 71. But yeah, Bill Russell, Jesuit educated, played in Boston. He died shortly after the finals where Golden State beat Boston. Remember, Golden State equals 177, like the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis equals... Wait, did I say... I misspoke. Golden State equals 175, like Pope Francis equals 175. Boston fell to 17-5 in those finals. Bill Russell died shortly after on the very last day of the Jesuit Ignatian year. So, yeah. If anybody else wants to call in and gloat, or hey, if somebody wants to call in and be a hater, just whatever. We'll take any kind of calls right now, but yours truly is gloating because, I mean, this is easily the most underappreciated YouTube channel in the history of YouTube. Just doing amazing day after day. I mean, 6 out of the last 7 Masters, another March Madness call, another Kentucky Derby call. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Like, and we did, I mean, 10 years ago, I didn't have to call any more things. 10 years ago, it was already amazing. We've had a lot more in the last 10 years. Yeah, if you guys want to call in, the line is open. I believe you can see the number on the screen. It should be that 509-560-4982. If you guys want to call in, the line is open. Um, Shout out to John Mendoza. Appreciate that, John Mendoza. Yeah, we just got back from the wedding, so. OG said sovereignty did you nicely. Glad to hear that. Appreciate that. What's up, 419?
Hey, when you were talking about this whole Kentucky Derby, I had like a flash to a Psych episode. I put it in the comments. So when I looked, I was like, oh, you know what I'm talking about, Psych? Like Sean and Guster. I can't remember what channel it was on. But there was an episode of how these people rigging the Derby. And so I look it up. It's season 2, episode 5. Like, are you kidding me? And then you were like, as you were talking, and I was looking it up, and you were talking about 52.
Yeah, it's always a big number at that track.
Yeah, so that was a good episode to watch. And I'm trying to look up like the horses' names, but it's like a big deal. Like, no, when you were talking about that, I'm like, oh my gosh. It was like, oh, I just feel like this is like, oh, and they figured out how they were rigging, the horse race. So that was my 2 cents. Thanks.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Man, you know what sucks though is how bad the views are. Man, YouTube has ruined this channel. If we were doing this in a decade ago, we'd have a lot of people in here. YouTube is hating. And I know YouTube's really hating because actually I look at my analytics for what is considered good videos that they want to promote. I have very high scores actually in terms of like and click-through rate, and again, they've just ruined the channel because they don't want this information to get out. I mean, look at what we're exposing right now. Just in spades, exposing how rigged it is, how connected it all is, backing up the same point I made a gazillion times. And then the other thing that's weak too is if this was Tim Pool would be on here talking about absolutely nothing. He'd have 50,000 people in the stream. He would have already raised $1 million doing absolutely jack shit for his audience. I just helped tons of people make money again today. And we got 2 super chatters and barely over 100 people watching. That is a joke. That is a joke. But yeah, anybody else want to call in, share some thoughts? You got anything else to add to the ritual I overlooked? Let me know. If not, I think I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wrap this thing up. So, but yeah, it does feel good to nail another one. And I'm looking forward to the Derby 2 years from now because I smell a triple C. So that's where the big money is. That's where the big money is. My shorts never get any views, though. That's the problem. My shorts never get any views. Here's a winner. And right from the right area code, too. What's up, 407?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I just wanted to call in and appreciate your work again. Another future, and you didn't even put that much work into this. I think we started looking at this maybe 2, 3, 4 days ago, and put it all together today in the long stream. And like you said, if you had one horse to put it on, it was Sovereignty. Sovereignty ended up winning, so that gets added to the March Madness and the Masters that you called also before.
And I'm also going to say we weren't far off on the Super Bowl either because we were in the driver's seat for the Super Bowl. I had everybody hedged on the Eagles. People want to hate about that, but again, when we're off, we're usually not that far off. So,
yeah, and regarding the Super Bowl, I mean, after the previous Super Bowl, when the Chiefs won that one, you called it after that game for them to be back there. So you put in that future there that day or the next day. I mean, you won from that already. So
yeah. And we gave out that for free, too, after Super Bowl 57. 57, we said, well, it only makes sense for the Chiefs to come 4-2 on the 42nd day of the year in Super Bowl 58. And what do you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of people who complain about, Patreon. Patreon's cheap. That's one thing. But in your public streams, there's free clues probably every day for every sport. if you're listening. So, I mean, even if you're not on the Patreon, you could be using the information to win. But yeah, I appreciate all the work you put in. A lot of grinding that goes on. A lot of lost sleep with the new baby and your wife taking care of things. So, I mean, people got to appreciate you. And I'm in the Discord. Like, sometimes there's people who complain about you who say, "Oh, Zach missed this, Zach missed that." I'm like, Zach has a newborn child. He has a wife, and he's still covering the major sports every single day. Like, what more do you expect from a person? But I just say that I appreciate what you do, and still doing well, even though the books in Vegas have made things harder, but we're still winning over here.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, how many people in the world hit the March Madness, Masters, and Derby from the get? That's a small list of people for sure. So,
yeah. But yeah, Zach, I appreciate everything you do, and continue to support.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, I was watching one of those YouTube guys say that they really just want to promote channels of people who are experts in their field. I mean, come on, are we not the expert in I put out the poll yesterday. Are we closer to the best or the worst channel on all of YouTube? Again, I don't want to toot my own horn, but seriously, what's a better topic on YouTube than this knowledge? This knowledge shows how the news is rigged, the sports are rigged, the crypto's rigged, the markets are rigged, how they're all rigged together. I mean, seriously, what's a better topic? What is a better topic? And there's nobody else who's a greater expert in the topic. Chris from Vegas, I saw you in the chat. Why don't you call in? Chris from Vegas was blowing up my phone. Apparently, he had sovereignty too for a different reason. I'd like to hear Chris from Vegas call in and tell me. And I don't think he followed my work because I don't think he knew that I had sovereignty, because all of a sudden he's like, I told you it was going to be sovereignty. I was like, I didn't know you had sovereignty. I didn't know that you had sovereignty. We decoded it today. I came up with sovereignty for all the reasons I already explained. But if you're out there, Chris, feel free to call in and share. Chris does take a different angle to decoding sports, but he's a numbers guy too. He looks at it from the betting lines. He's got a secret book in Vegas that he thinks puts out the secret coded lines on the daily, giving away the winners. And he said in the lines he saw it was sovereignty. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I'm sure there's all kinds of ways they're sending out the message to those in the know. All right. Last call for phone calls. I saw Chris in the chat, but maybe he's too shy to call in today, or maybe he's at work or something. Last call for phone calls. Here, I'll do this real quick too, in case you got here late. If you need a recap, again, because a lot of you guys won't even go back and watch the streams. Here, where's the Secretariat piece? All right, here, we got a phone call, and then I will do one more recap. Where's the article about every horse being related to Secretariat? What's up, 908?
Zach, man, what a call, man. This Kentucky Derby shit. Unbelievable. Like, broke it down, each horse, everything, one by one. And sovereignty, of course, comes out on top. It never fails, man. It's a numbers game, and time after time again, it always comes through. It's unbelievable how, people are so tuned in, and they do these, energy harvests, and they think this is actual competition in real life. Everything is predetermined in sports. Everyone is acting, everyone is putting on, a gimmick and getting in character, and then this is what happens.
And killing some people and horses along the way too by the numbers. That's another big part of it that people need to understand. So.
Yeah, it's just totally sick. I mean, I'm not even, I always say that I haven't been, in this community for as long as some other people. I've been in here for I think 5 years, and it's just, when I found you, I was just like, man, literally every single number, and it took me a minute to get up to to understand everything, but I tell people all the time, read the notes and, try to connect, everything with players, people, any events in the news. And it just all plays out. It's like every number is right there, and they give away a story. They're giving away a story to you and the outcome of what's to come. It's crazy. Like, I've been following you, for everything, whether it's the Super Bowl, the NBA playoffs, March Madness. Like, man, I can't even tell you how many calls you've made, and like, I've won so much off your knowledge. It's so crazy. I wish more people knew, and I just wish more people, would not be so, tuned in and focused to, sports. It's sickening.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm just wondering what we got to do to get this information out to people at this stage in the game, because YouTube has cut us off from reaching a new audience. It's like the Masters. I felt bad. Normally, every year I advertise the Masters, we have a bunch of new signups. This year, there wasn't a single new signup for the Masters, and that actually hurt all the people who didn't sign up. I hardly charge anything. Everybody would have won good money off Rory. So, yeah, they got this information on lockdown.
Yeah, it's looking like your guy in Denver, the Jesuit Adelman, his son, looks like he's going to advance to round 2. Getting real interesting with that guy.
His dad was the coach of the Blazers when I was growing up. They're up 23 early in the third. You never know in the crazy NBA, but if they do hold on, they'll get that 109th postseason win. Los Angeles 109.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. Mainly because today is gonna be Ty Lue's 187th loss as the Clippers coach, and Nikola Jokic is 187, and it's also his 21st playoff loss with the Clippers as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This Adelman guy, ever since you pointed out his whole Jesuit ties, I was like, oh, this is why he's the coach now. And
again, he went to the same Jesuit high school as Eric Spoelstra, right next to the Nike campus in the suburbs of Portland. And who did Denver beat in their only championship? Miami and Eric Spoelstra. So yeah, it's like, okay, what are the odds? And not to mention, the former coach of the Nuggets was also Jesuit educated, and his father died right after they won the finals. And that's not what they did to poor Dikembe Mutombo to start this season. Dikembe Mutombo, 58, dead at 58. But go ahead.
Yeah, and they're going to play OKC too, right? The Sonics. And remember, he had that big upset in 94. Like, they were the 8th seed over the 1 seed Sonics.
That's right. They were the first, they were the first, 8 seed to beat a 1 seed. That's right. And that was with Dikembe Mutombo. Huh, okay.
Yeah, This is so fucking nuts, man. Like, and you called this shit as soon as Mutombo died, that something with Jokic, they're doing something with Jokic, and oh man, I swear to God, if Denver upsets OKC, I won't even be shocked at this point. But yeah, no, I'm keeping a real close eye on that, because it's just mind-boggling how they do it.
It is. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
That's all I had. I'll let someone else jump in.
All right. Thanks, 908. Take care. All right. If anybody else wants to jump in, you're welcome to. For people who got here late, just one more recap of everything that went down. So, again, every horse in this year's Kentucky Derby was related to Secretariat, the Triple Crown winner from 73. And Secretariat died at age 19. And they had 19 horses in the race. And Secretariat died on October 4th, 10-4. And for this race, they kicked out horses in posts 10 and 4. Hold on, we got another call. Got to get the Cam Newton angle. What's up, Joey? Yo.
There is a Carolina Panthers angle.
I knew it.
Kentucky Derby.
I knew it.
Why? Just on the surface, why would you think that is?
Joey, with you, you always find it. You're Cam Newton's #1 fan. What is it?
Well, the Panthers wide receivers Xavier Legette.
Hold on, Joey, I got to take this call because this guy hardly ever calls me. You can call back. I will not end the stream until you call back. I want to hear what you got to say, but I got to take this other guy's call just in case he can't call back. But call me back in a second, Joey. What's up, my man in Sacramento? I still owe you the tamale trip. What's up?
Hey, my friend, Zach.
How you
Not
doing?
much, buddy. Not much. Just here, doing great, man. Doing great. With what you just did today, it just it did amazing. It was a nice call that you did. All the information that you brought out, all the community, it helped me out in these struggling days. Oh man, thank you, man. I ain't got no other words to say. Thank you, and to the community that is working, putting in the work. For me, I'm an English learner, and to learn all this information is like, man, crazy. But thank you, and congratulations to the winners.
Appreciate that, man. And it's good to hear from you. For people to know, he pounded pavement with us all day in Sacramento when we were out in front of the governor's building, and we got drowned out by the loudspeakers, but it was still a good time. So it was good to meet you. I haven't forgotten you. And someday we are going to meet up for those tamales. So glad to hear your voice.
Hell yeah. No, they're going to be here waiting, eventually.
All
But
right.
to plan it out and make them a couple of days early before you get here.
All right.
But
All
they're
right.
going to be amazing.
All right.
Thank you again, and hope you have a great day, man.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take care. If sweet lady ends up getting laid off, maybe I'll move down to Sacramento. I liked it down there. I felt right at home in Sacramento. We had a good group come out there. Joey, you can call back now. He hardly ever calls. He hasn't called for like over a year. I just had to let him in. While we wait for Joey's call and the Cam Newton angle, again, just the Secretariat, as I've been telling you guys for years, is the 47 horse, okay? Again, these are all the Triple Crown winners. You can see that the only one that has a 47 is Secretariat. The three winners today, the numbers add up to 47, 18, 8, 21. Not an accident. Ukraine also equals 47. And again, that's what this race was about, because sovereignty is in question in Ukraine, and the horse that won sovereignty, it was born the day that Russia went into Ukraine, February 22nd, 2022, the 53rd day of the year, going with the race today on 5-3. What's up, Joey? Yo.
The NFL had a correspondent at the Kentucky Derby, and it was the Carolina Panthers wide receiver Xavier Leggett.
Okay.
He owns 14 horses. Leggett, and his Leggett's celebration when he scores a touchdown, he runs around like he's like riding on a horse.
That's funny. Okay.
But going back to how he owns 14 horses, NFL equals 14.
Yeah.
But
And the horses that got cut were 10-4, 14, and the last time the race was on May 3rd was 2014. Go ahead.
Yep. So I find it funny that the 151st Kentucky Derby fell on the date 5/3. You can write the date 5/03.
Okay.
And 503 is the 96th prime
Right.
number.
It's the Portland area code too, my hometown, indeed.
And in the 96th NFL season, an NFL team went 15-1. That was the Panthers. So the Panthers have a wide receiver being the NFL's correspondent because he's so big into horses at the 151st Kentucky Derby. So I found that interesting. If you write out sovereignty wins the Kentucky Derby, in the most pure cipher, it equals 151.
Wow. Sovereignty wins the Kentucky Derby 151, huh?
Yeah. But that's pretty much just I think there's a clue here for the upcoming NFL season. I haven't cracked it completely. But in regards to this, of course, in the 96 NFL season, the Panthers went 15-1. I already said that, but the Cam Newton was the quarterback of the Panthers at the time, and his nickname was Superman. And of course, Christopher Reeve, he's the famous actor who played Superman. And of course, Christopher Reeve, he ended up dying by falling off a horse. So
Right. Yeah.
I haven't put all the pieces together just yet, but as we know, all sports, it's just a gigantic web, and it's up to you to put the pieces together. They pretty much give you the what they're gonna do. Now it's just up to those that have the eyes to see to put it all together. But yeah, thanks for taking my call, Zach, and great call again. And it is frustrating that this channel doesn't hardly get any views. But on the bright side, that movie, with the trailer, with what you said in a million videos during the pandemic about Jenny Durkin being the 56th mayor. What's the name of that movie again?
Sleepless in Seattle?
It's coming out.
Oh yeah, the movie that's quoting me. Oh yeah, that's right, you guys. I even got a movie coming out about me, and we don't have 200 people watching a live stream that Hollywood's making a movie about. Come on. Eddington,
that's right.
yeah.
And yeah, it sounds exactly. It is verbatim of what you said, like how you
Over and over, because I'd always call him Mr. Sleepless in Seattle. That's even the quote in the movie. It's like, come on, man.
Exactly. That's what gives it away, because you always said you always put the Mister in front of it,
Yeah.
like the Mister Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah. That's why you're hating YouTube. YouTube, you are hating, man. You are hating to hold this. This should be promoted to the front page of YouTube right now. We should have everybody in here. Try to watch all these fat gamer dudes with 50,000 people watching their chat as they talk about news like it's real. I'm like, this is what people want to watch? Some guy whose face is all full of cookie crumbs and talking about the news like it's real? This shit is pissing me off. All right. Anyway, appreciate it, Joey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Thanks for taking my call, and peace.
All right. Take care, Joey. Yeah, you guys think I'm joking, man. That Eddington movie, listen to the trailer. It's my quote through the whole background. At the 22nd, if you listen carefully, because it's audio on top of audio, you got to listen carefully to the backtrack. You hear it clearly in the beginning, but then it runs through the whole trailer. 20 seconds, you hear him say, Gematria, the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. Here, coming back to the ritual. Again, you guys just think about it. One more time. Every horse in the race was related to one horse, the Triple Crown winner from 73. Isn't that weird in itself? I mean, does that not scream ritual? There's been a lot of horses over the years. For them all to be related to one horse. Secretariat died in 19. You got 19 horses in the race. Secretariat died on October 4th. They kick out the 10 and the 4 horse, and they say they both have a bruised foot. Bruised foot equals 53. That was a clue that the horse born on the 53rd day of the year was going to win on 5-3. But Secretariat died 188 days after his birthday, and the horse who just won, Sovereignty, he just won at Churchill Downs 188 days ago. And that was October 27th. 188 is not an arbitrary number. Bavarian Illuminati equals 188. The US dollar bill denominations are the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100. You add them up together, it equals 188. Racing is money. There's Illuminati symbolism all over the dollar bills. Again, the Illuminati goes back to the Jesuits, to go back to the church. They race at Churchill Downs. Da Vinci Code tried to show you this through a book in Hollywood. Speaking of Mr. Sleepless in Seattle, isn't he in that movie too? But yeah, again, the other thing that was massive about Sovereignty, a name that kind of sounds like Secretariat. They both start with a S. S is the 19th letter to go with the 19 horses. Again, Sovereignty was born the day that Russia went into Ukraine, February 22nd, 2022, infringing on Ukraine's sovereignty. Ukraine equals 47. Secretariat equals 47. The 3 winning horses today, the numbers 18, 8, 21. They all add up to 47. And they all had great narratives to be there. Again, they added in the 21 horse last. Secretariat won it in 73, which is the 21st prime. And again, with regards to second and third place, they finished in first and second in their last respective race, which was at Santa Anita, the racetrack they kill all the horses at. Medina Spirit won in a 2-all-1 ritual, and then it died in a 2-all-1 ritual at, here, where's it at? Again, so this is the last race for second and third place. Journalism, who was the favorite, came in first and beat Baeza at Santa Anita on April 5th, 2025. Today they finished in second and third behind Sovereignty, who again won 188 days ago. So, yeah, again, if you're just in the notes, you could have figured out it was Sovereignty, but I made it very clear in the stream that Sovereignty was the top horse, the top clue, the one to build around. And all three of the horses that finished in the top three, not surprised at all. The only thing I wish I had called out in the stream, again, I kind of was in a hurry because I had to go to a wedding. I wish I would have thought about how much sense it made to add up the three numbers to 47 in light of everything we talked about. Again, they did this joke on you with Cooties 19. Secretariat, the lone 47 Triple Crown winner, winning the virtual derby to make up for them not doing it that day because of Cooties 19, another 19 thing. They did that on 47 date numerology, and Secretariat won the virtual derby 47 years after winning the real thing. Again, you can see in the base ciphers, only one horse equals 47, Secretariat. And if you thought that was a joke then, look at how they paid tribute to it now. And again, it's all synced up with 47-year-old Zelensky, Ukraine 47, Trump 47. And by the way, do you just look at how the two big issues right now are tariffs and Ukraine, right? Just look at the gematria of those two words. Isn't that also weird? Ukraine and tariffs just happen to have the exact same gematria in all ciphers. Think that's an accident? I don't think that's an accident. Not at all. I think that's the ritualism. Rig news, rig sports, all connected together. People would learn the code. They would see it as clearly as we do. And hey, they'd take advantage too. In tough times, you want more knowledge, more ways to pay the bills. So, all right, shout out to OG and John Mendoza. Helping people win money, dropping the most important knowledge ever. It doesn't get the views or the financial support like shilling like a Tim Pool or any of these other terrible shills on the tube. But, yeah, shout out to all the people who did send over a Cash App. Appreciate that. And there's another one. Shout out to the latest Cash Appers. Here, I'll shout out the Cash Appers real quick. Patrick, Deterian, no money. Your name is no money on there, funny. No money times two. Jonathan, Martin, DC, Brian, Khalif, Flight Risk, Zone, The GOAT, Veronica, David, Brian, David, The GOAT again, Self-Made, thank you. AJ, Chris, appreciate it. All right. Hey, and shout out to Logan Thomas. Logan, you didn't have to do that, man. Thank you, though. I appreciate it, though, Logan. Yeah, I don't dress up too much, but we had a wedding. That's why I'm dressed up. Came back from the wedding. We had to leave early because we got the little one. The music was too much for her. She didn't know what to do about all this music. So, but it was hilarious because like literally right as we stepped out the door, some tips started coming through with the exclamation point sovereignty. I thought, wow, that's what I like to see. What kind of timing is that? We're out of here and we're a winner. All right, you guys. Thanks again, everyone who hits the like and the share. I don't think YouTube's ever going to let us reach an audience again. This kind of information used to get big views, but here we are. Can't even get 200 people on the live stream. Impossible. All right. Yeah, congrats to the winners. Shout out to Ramiro as well. Thanks for joining the Cash App Army, Ramiro. Everybody else have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go spend some time with the sweet lady and little Ruby. Again, congrats to the winners. Hey, if you're not on the Patreon, think about joining, you guys. I hardly charge anything. The knowledge pays. And I think I'll be gloating here pretty soon with the NBA Finals. I think we hit it in the preseason again. We'll see. I think we got both teams right. We'll see. All right. Till next time, everybody. Take care.